Okay, I got a question about review sheet number 2. This is review sheet number 2, and this is question 14. Donovan sent me a message on Emoto and wanted me to do questions 14, 15, and 16. 14 through 16, and I'm going to do that for him. So, question 14, Donovan, it says, Grace wants, this is for review sheet 2. It says Grace wants to participate in a dance recital. She cannot miss more than 15%. Well, can't miss more than 15% of the 40 classes. Okay, 40 classes, 15%. Hopefully y'all can read that. That's a 5. Okay. And the question is, what is the minimum number of classes she must attend? She only can miss 15%. So to figure out how many she can actually miss, remember you've got to multiply 15.15, rather change it to a decimal, times your 40. And that's going to give you the number of classes that she can miss, because it said you can miss 15% of them. Of means multiply. Okay, so you can either set up a proportion if it's easier for doing that way. If you go 15 over 100, because percent means 100, equals, so you want to know how many she can miss. So the whole thing is 40 classes is the total, okay? So you want to know how many, x over 40, that she can miss. So you could set it up like that. When you cross multiply, you get the same thing as what I'm doing by just multiplying by 0.15. Because I'm multiplying by 0.15, that means I don't have to divide by 100. Okay, hopefully you got that. But if not, you have to multiply, because 15% of 40 means the same as saying 15% times 40. So you have 0 times 5 is 0. This is 20. Now move over. You got 0. You have 4. So 6. Now you're going, that's a 0. So now you're going to move the decimal over twice. So you have 6. So what does that mean? That means she cannot miss more than 6, Donovan. No more than 6. So, but the question is not asking how many she can miss. If you look at your sheet, the question is asking how many she must to attend. What's the minimum number of classes she must attend in order to be in the recital? So if this is what we miss, how are we going to figure out how much we need to attend? Just subtract 6 from it, because that's what you would miss. That means that she would need to attend 34. 34. Okay? So let's see, 34 classes. So let me go over. That was number 14. Hope that helped you, Donovan. So we're going to do number 15. Okay, number 15. We're on this one now. Aaron made a bag of trail mix with peanuts, raisins, and chocolate chips. Okay, so the ratio of peanuts, so I'm going to just put a P for peanuts, is 5. 2, ... that means ratio. 5 to raisins. And so the raisins is given. It says that there are 150 raisins. So I'm going to put 150 under here. We can write it like a little fraction. It's hard to write on this thing, so please forgive me. So, and then the ... 2. And then we've got the chocolate chips. We know that the ratio for chocolate chips would be, the raisins is 150. The peanuts, you're not sure. So let me just set this up differently. So if you go, the peanuts you don't know. The raisins you know is 150. And then the chocolate chip you don't know. So I'm going to put C for chocolate chip. So you don't know the peanuts, you know the raisins, and you don't know the chocolate chips. But you know the ratios. For peanuts, it's 5. For raisins, it's 3. And for chocolate chips, it's 2. That means the ratio is 5 to 3 to 2. So when you set up a proportion, you can compare 2 of the ratios. Okay? 2 for ratios. So I'm just going to compare the peanuts with the raisins. 150 is raisins. Hope I'm not confusing y'all. So you can set up a proportion because you know that the ratio to raisins is 3 to 150. So you can set up your proportion as 3, start it with 3. 3, I make this as neat as possible, over 150. That's a 1. Let me erase that because y'all won't be able to read it. Okay. 3 to 150. That's what's given. But you don't know the peanuts. But you know you can set a ratio equal. You can set the proportions equal. So you don't know the peanuts at all. Okay? But you know the raisins is 3 out of 150. But you know the peanuts is 5. But you don't know how many peanuts. So over X. Okay? So now we can set up our proportion and cross multiply, then divide by 3 to figure out our number of peanuts. And I already did this on another sheet of paper. When I cross multiply the 3 times the, where is it? 5 times the 150. I multiplied it and I got 300. Is it 0? No, I didn't get 300. 5 times 150 is going to be 750. So if you go 5 times the 150, you're going to get 750. Okay, so I've got 750, put it right there, equals 3x. Then you have to always divide by the number across from the x. So 3 will go into 750 250 times. So that tells me there that the peanut proportion is 250. So let me erase this up here so you can see. So you know the peanuts is already given is 250. Whoops, let me bring that back up. 250, right with my fingers. Okay, 250 over 5. That means it's 5. Part 5 is going to be 250. And we know the raisins was given, which was 150 to 3. Ratio is 150 to 3 raisins. And now the last ratio we don't know, and that has to do with the chocolate chips. But we know that it is set up as to 2. Okay, so 5 to 3 to 2. That was given. So we know the 2 would need to be on the bottom. Okay, so we can't set up a proportion for three items at once, but we can set up a proportion now for these two, because we know the raisins, even though we already know the peanuts, we know the raisins is 150 over 3 and equal to x, whatever that is, over 2. So I'm going to erase this so I have some room to do it. And you just cross multiply while I'm erasing, Donovan. Tell me, what is 2 times 150? Or anybody? Anybody? Okay. 2 times 150, yeah, you got it. It is 300. 300 equals 3x. Divide both sides by your 3. X equals 100. Okay? So that lets me know, we know where everything is now. We know that it's 100 chocolate chips. So we figured out the first one was 250 for the peanuts. We already knew that the ratio would be ... 150 for the raisins, and then 100 for the chocolate chips. And that answer would be, let me see, yeah, J. J would be the correct answer. So if you wanted to check your work to make sure it's right, oh, y'all got this. You got 250 to 150 to, and if you had answers, if you're on a STAR test, you can just use your answers to 100. So what you could do is, you know, the problem gives you the ratios of 5 to 3 to 2. So you could work backwards. Can you divide and reduce that by 250 by 50 and get the same answers. So these are the answers you need, right? So can you reduce 250, 150, and 100 and get 5 to 3 to 2? That's supposed to be dot dot. I'm using my fingers. It's hard. So yes, I can divide 50 into 250. I'm going to get 5. I can divide 50 into 150. I'm going to get 3. And I can divide 50 into 100, and I'm going to get 2. So it worked out. Not that hard. I hope I didn't confuse anybody. And last but not least, number 16. There are 4 types of snack packs to choose from in the movie theater. I'm just going to set this up. And which snack pack has the lowest price per ounce? So I want you to try to work it on your own. A is already set up in ounces. It's $1.50 for 8 ounces. And 8 ounces. So that's pretty easy. You just divide 8 into 150 and you got your price per ounce. Then now for B, it's in grams. Okay? But you know in the problem it says 1 gram equals 0.36 ounces. So you can set up a proportion. 1 over 0.36, that's a 1, not a J. Okay? Equals, so you want to know 50 grams. So if 1 gram is 0.36, how many is 50 grams? Okay, so I put 50. This is grams, put G for grams. This is ounces. O for ounces. Okay, so 50 grams is X ounces. Okay, so if 1 gram is 36 ounces, 50 grams is X ounces. So I've set up my proportion so I can just simply cross multiply. I know it looks messy. I would multiply 0.36 times 50, and I can divide by 1, but the 1 is whatever that answer is. It's going to give me the amount for changing or converting your grams to ounces. So in order to do letter B, you've got to change the 50 grams to ounces. So I'll go ahead and multiply this one out. So you have 50 times 0.36. Don't forget about the decimal. So this is 0, this is 30, and then this is 0, and it's 15. So I got 1800 right out of space. So that's 18. So that tells me that it's 18 ounces for snack pack B. So if you're looking at your worksheet and you see snack pack B, it's 18 ounces. Okay, so I just cross multiply, and that's what I've gotten, 18 ounces. Okay, so now it's in ounces. You got to convert it to ounces before you can divide it by $2.25. It's $2.25 for the whole thing, and you want to know how much it is for the snack pack per ounce. So you got to divide the 18 into that, and that'll give you how much it is per ounce. So you do each one like that, then you choose the lowest price per ounce. We'll work on this more in class. Donovan, I hope I helped you. I didn't finish 16. I'll see if you all can do it on your own. I will see you tomorrow.